Hello and welcome to the annual winter retreat from the virtual Serenity Ridge. We were hoping that we would all be here, or some of us would be here live in person, but once again, circumstances changed, and we're delighted that we can continue these teachings online, which is how we began this cycle last year with Choco Chung Rinpoche and his brother Geshe Gyatso. And many of you, most of us, were probably together last winter for the non-door teachings, the foundational practices for these, the experiential transmission. And if you weren't with us last winter, it means that you've been to Serenity Ridge or received these teachings from Rinpoche or another qualified Lama in years past. This is the only cycle of teachings we do within the Gmincha presently that are restricted after the first year. And I think it's a really beautiful opportunity for those of you who have not had this cycle before. They are extraordinary. They start out deep and they just go deeper and deeper, and they just take us further and further into ourselves and into the teachings. And from my experience, Rinpoche has just made them so approachable and accessible, and the power that these teachings have to transform our lives and ourselves become just increasingly clear as we move through this cycle. So wonderful to see 194 of you here. We have more. We have another 55 or so joining us right now on Serenity Ridge's, our Gmincha's Facebook page. We expect more over time. And if any of you have had any issues with registration, we do apologize. Because it's a restricted teaching, it's been hard for us to keep up with the sheet where people ask for permission to join and then send in the registration. And so I know a few of you may have just got your registration moments before this event began, and there are a few people who might even get them in the morning. But that's another reason why we chose to stream to Facebook. So Rinpoche, thank you so much for joining us from your home in California, being here for this teaching, both here in Zoom and on Facebook. And I'm going to go away again and let you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Welcome, everybody. I wanted to just start with the Guru Yoga first. So, welcome everybody again. I know this is beginning of our winter retreat. So, and our first session of this winter retreat, we are kind of opening to wider community, and it is only been doing through the Serenity Ridge Linkage International Facebook page, not through my Facebook page. So I think people are still catching up there. So also everybody who's on joining on through the Facebook Live, welcome also all the people around the world. So today's beginning of this session, we choose the topic of integration so that this is a more accessible, not directly only related to the second chapter, but it's also kind of everybody who have received so many different forms of teaching by so many different teachers in so many different traditions. So it can be more useful for everybody. So we are trying to choose this topic of integration. And so the term integration, if you're wondering what that term means in Tibetan, or if it's something made it up in English. So the term integration in Tibetan, it means Nyamle Sewa. I was looking at actually in the dictionary, the Nyamle Sewa, like integrating our practices in everyday life. That's what the term is, integration. So if you think about integration, you can think about what to integrate and where to integrate, right? So there's integration means there's two things happening. So what to integrate and where to integrate. And so of course, where to integrate, it will be quite obvious. It's in our life. Every single person in all our life, you're a nun, you're a monk, you are a teacher, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're single, you're married, you have a kid, you don't have a kid, you're happy, you don't happy, you work, you don't work, doesn't matter. You know, we always, you know, in your own life, can you integrate the knowledge that you have? Another word is also a very simple way to think will be, what, you know, there are a lot of things we know what to do and a lot of things we don't know. I said, we don't do what we know what to do, right? That's the lack of integration. So I said, I know it's good to be kind, but when the moment comes to be kind, I'm not able to be kind. I know I can stay quiet. The moment comes, I cannot stay quiet, you know. So somehow what I know as a knowledge, higher understanding, better understanding, deeper understanding, wisdoms, they're not always integrated in our everyday life. So we have split personalities, different layers of personality. That happens. So integration means they're bringing together. So when we think about integration, I would think three different kinds. I'm just trying to see three different ways you can think about. One, in a very general terms, I think which everybody, you know, everybody who is not even following Dharma would relate to, just general terms, integration will means that all situation, I'm not saying, I think sometimes I do say that every situation is a good situation. And I know some people have a hard time to understanding that. They say, how dare you can say that? You know, you have no idea what I'm going through. And it's not fair to say that every situation is good when you feel like you're doing okay. And, you know, people would immediately, I could see the response like that. So I choose not to say every situation is good situation, but I would say that every situation can every, every situation can help you, to strengthen you, to grow you, to discover you, to expand you. You can learn every situation. I don't think anybody will disagree with me with that. If you're not able to do it, that's a different problem. But that doesn't mean the situation cannot give you that opportunity. So, so every situation in life, there can be support. There are support. There is something good in them that you can grow through. You know, that if you look at very specific current situation in a pandemic, COVID-19, last 2 years, we know that very clearly. That's what happened. Unfortunately, so many people have died, so many people got sick, so many people get depressed, so many people might have divorced, so many people lost jobs, so many difficult experiences happen. And so many people are also trying to do their best, trying to cope with the situation. And we as a Sangha, as a community, so we're trying to do our best, trying to keep so active and so busy last year. I realized I was quite, even though it was very joyful effort, but I realized I did a lot last year. So I was trying to keep more quiet and rest and keep more silence now, which are what I teach. So, but only reason why I did that much is just really trying to see if how I can help. And I know many people have expressed it was great support for them during pandemic. So during this pandemic, either it's a personal situation or professional situation, or even in the spiritual practices, people have experienced differently. Some people have really personally, they have grown through it. They have learned so much. Some people did not. And I was exactly saying that right from the beginning of the year, saying we will look back to this 2020 and we will remember how was my 2020. And we're exactly doing right now, that's what we're doing. How was it? It was difficult for everybody, for sure. But did you make the best out of it? Or even you did not try? Or you thought you did not believe that you can do? Did you erase yourself through these issues and problems and conflict and pain and depressions and whatever experiences that you are having? Have you able to overcome, able to find your strength, able to support each other, able to be, even it's difficult, to be together with each other? I'm not saying that it was the easiest time also, you know, especially during pandemic, school is closed down, you have a teenage at home. It was not easy. But regardless of it was not easy, trying to do my best, you know. I did a bunch of video about parenting, you know. I realized how difficult it is for so many parents would be, how difficult it is for us. But you learn, you share experience. But then even in the situation of parenting situation, it was never a child. It was always us. It was always me. Because if you're an adult, you know, if you're trying to deal with teenage, then you have to deal with teenage as a grown up, not to be a teenage or worse than a teenage, you know. That's called integration. You have to find a way to handle the situation, not seeing something wrong in the situation, absolutely not something wrong in the person, but something that you're not able to cope. And you have to find your own strength to cope with the situation, with your children, with your family member, with whatever. That's integration. If you know what awareness is, that is the place to bring awareness. If you know what is kindness, that is the place to bring the kindness. If you know what it means to stay cool and calm, that is the place to bring the cool and calm. That's the integration. And we also know that during this pandemic, that I was just hearing in the news that how many people are quitting their jobs? How many people are changing their jobs? How many people are doing remotely? How many people are learning new skills? And absolutely, that, something big happened. That's the only way we learn how to change things. Otherwise, we could change any time. I could change any time in a situation in my life, but we are not able to change and find a better places in our life unless some difficult situation happen, unless the karma kicks you on your butt, We just get caught up in our pattern and we think that's all who we are and that's all what you can do. And that's all how you can feel. No, it's not true. So, and that means we are now in 2021. It's kind of ending 2021, right? Already. And of course, we are getting used to this whole situation. Used to means we are finding a better way to integrate, because we know more about the virus. And so more you know about the situation, more it's easier to integrate with the situation. In some point, you're hearing news, sometimes people are saying now probably is the point where we might get infected. And maybe that's the reality. You get vaccine, you're not hospitalized, you will not die, most likely not die and not hospitalized as you're vaccinated. And you will you get infected and you learn to live with it. This is probably what the future will look like, an integration with the virus. So generally speaking, this sense of integration is finding one's potentiality, finding one's inner peace, inner strength in worse, difficult situation which you're facing outside. That is very general sense of integration, definition of integration. During this pandemic, pandemic could be the reason so many people can lose things. Pandemic could be the reason so many people can find things. Pandemic could be the good reason people divorce, or pandemic, it could be a good reason people come closer. Pandemic could be a good reason to find your worst aspect, or pandemic could be a good reason to find your best aspect of yourself. It can do both. So what it did to you, so let's not think about the past, let's think about the now. What it can do now to you. And in 2022, when you look back, now we will look back to 2021 saying, well, 2020 was not the best one, but 21 was better, definitely better when you look from 2022. Because I found a lot of things, a purpose of life, I became closer to family, found closer to myself, closer to just understanding the more prioritizing meaning of my life and something like that. Integration. So either it brings closer, or it unites, or it divides. Politically even, right? In one way, pandemic brought whole world together because you have to come together in order to deal the pandemic problem. It was a worldwide problem. If one problem is there, the virus goes from one person to all over the world in a very short period of time. So it's not some country's problem, individual's problem. It's a collective problem. So we have to deal with this by unifying ourselves. On the other hand, this becomes a political separations. People are getting so mad about the vaccine or something. People can do whatever they wanted to do. You want to take a vaccine, take a vaccine. If you don't want to take a vaccine, don't take a vaccine, but respect each other. I'm fine with people, whatever people feelings about that. And I have no problem. Respect everybody. But somebody yells at me saying you took a vaccine, you're not Lama anymore or something. That's too much for me. And if somebody says, one comment I heard, I said, I'm grateful that I took a vaccine for the scientists. And somebody said, you're no longer my Lama. I'm fine. If that person, that kind of person, I prefer not to be a Lama of somebody like that. We need to respect each other. It's not only about ourselves, but we are responsible for others. People who are close to us. So anyway, I think that is the general sense of what the integration is about. And the second thing is it's about more like a special sense of what integration could mean, like for 10 prajna paramitas, like a compassion, okay? Let's say like a compassion or love, generosity, kindness. These qualities that can you hear the noise? Okay, so I was hearing some noise there.
I heard it too. I'm not sure where it came from, Rinpoche. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't see any microphones off except for yours.
So what I'm trying to say here is the second aspect, meaning of this integration it's about some sense of our virtuous quality, like kindness, compassion, love, our own innate virtuous qualities. Let's say love. When you love someone, your parents, your children, when your own expectation is not fulfilled by your parents or by your children or by your partner, by your friend, then you begin to have an issue. Then instead of love is presence there, then the anger comes out. So love is in you there, but it's not coming out to the place when it needed to come out. That the family life is not integrated with the love that you can have. It's not there. Instead, the anger comes out. Instead, love playing an important role to coming together, connecting deeper, helping each other, supporting each other, the anger comes out and it disconnects, separates, and becoming a mean to each other and hurt each other in each other's feeling. So the love that we know is not able to integrate in this loving relationship because of one's own expectation is not fulfilled. I can clearly say that as a father, as a father, I can clearly say that was my experience. I said, the children are like a gold, they're perfect. Children is like where you integrate. Your love is what you need to integrate with them. And when is the most difficult to integrate that love? Because love is virtue, and I need to integrate in that difficult relationship. Why is it difficult? Because it's very personal. Why it's personal and why it's difficult to integrate that in that personal situation, because my expectations are not fulfilled. What is your expectation? Because children grow, right? They change every day, and you expect them to be yesterday's kid. They are not yesterday's kid. When they're 6 years old, they're different. They're 10 years old. They're 10 years old, they're different than 15 years. Totally different personality. But you wanted to be the same one who listens, who you be loving, playing, hanging around you, listening to you, saying yes to everything. That's your problem, right? That's not their problem. If they say yes continuously when they turn 15, it's a problem. You should be more concerned when they say yes to everything. When they say no to most of the things, you should be happy. It's a teenage, right kind of teenage. It's a typical teenage. It's growing in the right way. It's not a problem. We have a difficult time to adapting to the new situation. They're growing, but we are not growing. Life is changing all the time, but we're not able to change as together with the life. We are not able to integrate with life. You're expecting the same thing again, same situation again. It's not the same situation anymore. 19 was different than the 20, 20 was different than 21, 21 will be different than 22. It will be different. You have to integrate with each of these years differently by being not the old one, not being the 2020 Tenzin to integrate to 2021 2021 year, I've changed. You have to let go of a lot of things. Happily let go of a lot of things. Embracing all these new situations, because every new situation has so much more to give to you than the old situation. And you think the old situation, what is giving you, you think that's all what you have in life, what they're giving you, but that's not true. The new situation has so much more to give you because you are in the new situation. So that is these aspects, what I call more like a kind of special integration. So let's say more like a dharma. So I guess the reason what I was thinking is general integration will be like general integration, like looking at everybody. There are a lot of people. If you look at it during pandemic, a lot of restaurants close, but there are a lot of restaurants made a lot of money. But they're able to change, they're able to adapt the situation, and they change. A lot of people found a job, a lot of people lost a job. So more we are able to open ourselves, more we are able to embrace the new situation, more we find more resources and help and growth and possibilities. That's general, a worldly sense. But the special sense, or the reason why I'm saying special, is your virtues, able to integrate your virtues quality, love. And for sure, personally, I openly said that, I'm not, I think that's a beautiful, as a teacher and being a father, it's a great gift. And I do take that role very seriously. I put a lot of energy and effort and thoughts into it as a father. Because when you think about love, you never wanted to lose your love, genuine love, full sense of love to your child, no matter what situation it is. And you might lose the playfulness for some time, but you wanted to bring back the playfulness, the fun part, joke part, play, tease each other. Children feel completely free to say whatever they wanted to say to you right in front of your face. You wanted to give them freedom to that. Some of them, you might lose them for a moment. They needed to come back. But you never wanted to lose your sense of love. That's the special integration. Or respect to your parents, respect to your friends, respect to your colleagues, loyalties, decency, dignity. You don't want to lose these qualities in life. So these are like a special quality where you're are able to integrate four immeasurables, the practice of four immeasurables: love, joy, compassion, equanimity, in situation in the life where there need to be presence. Most important, there need to be present there. Like love should be present there in relationship, period. They needed to be there, needed to be integrated there. Now, the last one, unique integration. I mean, I would say special, unique integration according to these teachings. In chapter 7 in the experiential transmission, where it talks about, it says how all the secondary experiences can become a support, and how you can exercise this energy into enhancing your spiritual practices. It talks about that. So what does that mean in that in this special, unique sense of integration? That means our innate awareness, like a presence of Rigpa, presence of pure awareness, presence of not losing who you are, genuinely, truly who you are in any situations. Your authentic presence. Just being that authentic presence, being in that authentic presence. In all the experiences, through all the experiences, in all the situations. I repeat this again. Being in the presence of that authentic self, through all the experiences that you are having, in all the situations that you are in. Not necessarily love, not necessarily kind expression of kindness, but being. Because the love will come out, the kindness will come out from that genuineness of, if you're being genuinely who you are, it will come out. But the true integration is being that authentic self in any situation. So you could think about maybe, if you don't understand that fully, you can think about two ways. One, you can think about, people say about just be cool, be cool. People always tell each other, right? They say, just stay cool, be cool, right? I don't know how when we say that to each other, how do you feel when you say, just stay cool, And if somebody tells you, just stay cool, relax, calm down, stay cool. What do you feel? Okay. Okay, right this moment, I'm asking all of you, just stay cool, Stay calm. Stay connected. Stay peaceful. Stay relaxed. I'm not asking you leave this situation. I'm not asking you run away from this person. I'm not asking you run away from that situation. I'm not asking you stop the conversation. I'm not asking you avoid the person. No, I'm saying be in that situation, be that person, keep on talking, but stay cool. If you avoid the situation, you're not integrating. If you're running away from the situation, you're not integrating. If you're divorcing, you're not integrating. If you put the label, if you say, people say, I say, unfriend someone, social media language, right? Unfriend someone. The moment you unfriend someone, you have to remember you have made negative karmic friend forever unless you friend again. Think about that. I have not unfriend anyone but imagine if you do unfriend someone, that moment you have karmically, negatively made a friend forever. And it will be only deleted after you clear friend again and clear that karmic relationship. Then it's gone. It's called purification. Just clicking the link to unfriend someone, it doesn't unfriend. That's called deeper karmic traces. You're just storing it deeper where you cannot see all the time. It's not clearing, it's storing deeper. So forget about doing those kind of unfriend, deleting file, deleting someone, getting rid of somebody's picture, somebody's gift. People do those things. I laugh about that. What sending something back to someone. Why you have to waste the postage money? It doesn't change anything. Unless you are genuinely being open and generous and giving, but it's in order to cut someone out, doing those behavior, it doesn't cut anything. That's what I'm trying to say. So staying cool and calm in this situation easy to say, right? Maybe it's not that difficult to do either. Maybe it's easier than what you think. Maybe you have not tried. Maybe you can find out after trying it, then saying, well, I thought it would be difficult, but it was still difficult in the beginning. But then it was pretty easy. Conversation went really well. I kind of rediscovered the person. I began to like the person. I began to like the conversation. I began to see the good side of the person. I began to see the better side of the life by staying cool and calm and connecting from that deeper, cool, calm place. That's why in the beginning of many of these teachings, they learn called calm abiding, shine. That's what it means. You cannot just be calm unless you have practiced the calm abiding. Calmly resting. Because many times, many conflict relationship challenges, this conflict arises the moment you're trying to attack someone, So, so the final integration, the integration with the Rigpa and awareness. So that's what we, okay, so let's say this way. Practically, how does the teaching, like experiential transmission, teaches us? How does the Dzogchen teaching teach us in a practical sense how to integrate that abiding in the nature of mind, abiding in that authentic sense of self in everyday life, in particularly difficult situations? How does it teach us? It teaches in a kind of 9 different stages. It's called non-virtue, neutral, and virtuous actions. So 9, why 9? Because 3 with body, 3 with speech, and 3 with mind. What will be the body? Like a non-virtue action of the body, non-virtue action of the speech, non-virtue action of the mind. What does that mean? That means, body, for example, when your body is really like a trembling, like, like some people go like very shaking and getting really agitated in their body, just going like whatever situation they find themselves, they can see, they can shaking their hands or shaking their lips and so on, like you can see there. And that very moment, you have to tell yourself, stay calm, stay cool, relax. It's okay. You have to be able to remember, you're able to tell yourself that you're able to try and able to find you can do it. That's what we say. Find the stillness in your body in that when the body is facing challenges. Find it. Number 1, right? Then so if you try that again and again and again, because many situations in life, it happens, right? I always give one example at the airport. I have so many stories at the airport, right? So especially in the winter when you're missing flights in the snow, and like you can imagine so many flights, cancellation of flights last couple of days. So in one time I saw this gentleman, older guy, he missed his flight. He was furious, angry, yelling at the airline ticket counter, the person working there. It's weather and missing. I mean, that's not their fault. And the hand was like shaking. The body was shaking, and and of course, I was part of the flight was missing, and when I saw him, I felt like he was missing the point. He's missing himself. If you have a choice between miss yourself or miss flight, what you will choose? You can say, if you're wise enough, you will say, it's okay to miss the flight. I don't want to miss myself, right? That is exactly what was happening. He was missing himself. Flight cancellation is triggering that. He was missing life. He was missing life force. He was missing to breathe. He was missing to be calm. He was missing to just being himself. From no general integration, no special integration, no unique integration, no integration at all. He was missing totally. Now, how often do we miss that? In the body. So you can see if body is living like that, it's body, it's going to, there's consequences for that. if body is being tortured like that again and again, there's a consequences for that. That one needed to be aware of it. If you're not giving enough rest to your body, there's a consequence. If you're not giving rest enough your body, if you're not getting good enough exercise in your body, if you're not respecting your body enough, there's a consequences for that. There's no integration there. So what will be neutral? Neutral will be, it's the movement of the body. Neutral could be walk, like people talk about walking meditation. You know, you're walking your dog. You can say, stay cool and calm and quiet, enjoy your dog. You know, maybe it's easier to integrate walking dog than missing flight. That's why flight missing was the number one, right? That agitation is the number one, the dog, walking a dog. Or maybe you don't like to walk a dog, you know, especially when it's raining or something like that. You just prefer to stay home, warm home, and do some yoga stretches. That makes sense. So do that yoga stretch. Then can you say, oh, complain about this so miserable posture and movement? These are so difficult. They don't meant to be the Western person. We don't meant to be doing it. These are Eastern stuff. And I don't know, whatever all these thoughts and words, complaints that you go in your head. Instead of thinking, wow, this is such a beautiful thing, you know, warm, comfortable home. I can do these beautiful postures and I can feel good in my body and just stay cool and calm. I can be cool and calm and do this posture. Or like, why I have to do this posture, you know? Yes, you don't have to, but you would love to do that. That's called integration. Otherwise, we'll put you back in the airport and let you miss your flight. If you cannot do the yoga posture in your warm, comfortable home with a nice cup of tea, we'll take you back to the airport and miss your flight twice more. Would you prefer that? No. So enjoy your posture. What is the next one? So next one is this. So that's the three thing, right? So what is the next one? Next is the speech. Why speech is the next, not the body? Because it's easier to control body than your mouth. You know, it's easier to, when even you're getting a feeling angry and you want to hit someone, you can control that, right? But with the mouth, it's harder to control that. That's why you have to do past three integration with body well enough, then you will be able to watch your pain speech. You will not able to pass the test of your pain speech if you will not pass the test of your pain body. So what is the three pain speech? Like complaining. How often you complain? Or maybe let's say this way, how often your partner complains? Right? All of you here. How often your husband, your wife, your parents, your children, your colleague, your friends complain? I know everybody's saying lot. Right? And because we hear that, we hear clearly somebody is complaining too much. It's very difficult to hear yourself. Imagine somebody is thinking, yes, I know someone, and pointing to you. And then thinking, do I complain? Yeah, I do. Do I complain to her, my wife? Yes, I do. When I do this kind of situation, yesterday, you can see that, right? How does this pain speech automatically comes out? So you find in the middle of the speech, or you are better in the beginning of the speech, you can feel the energy is coming out, right? My pain speech is preparing. I'm ready to complain. I'm looking for right word, right kind of topic, so that if I have to defend, I can defend properly, so that I have a good reason to get complaining about this situation, right? You're preparing, and then you catch yourself and you say, okay, stop right there. Breathe it out with no sound. Breathe it out, all those words out with air. Silence has protected me. I did not say anything. I was going to. I have integrated my silence with my pain speech. And the silence is beautiful. And the same energy where I usually would have complained with my pain speech and go too far, I have protected myself. It's harder in the middle of argument, middle of the pain speech, to find that silence, integrating with silence in the middle of the loud argument. It's difficult, but absolutely not impossible. That's why you try there. What is the non-virtuous speech? Just a conversation. You know, you're having a conversation with your friend. Beginning of the conversation with your friend, who usually you end up with arguing. So beginning of the conversation with a friend who usually end up arguing, in the beginning, it's just a conversation, it's not an argument. And easier to integrate, it's called neutral speech. It's not a bad speech, it's not a good speech, it's just talking about, hi, how's the weather, how are you, how was your holiday and everything. And then slowly, through lack of awareness, people getting too disconnected with the silence, getting together, conversation, they will end up fighting. When you fight, that's the hard one to integrate. When you're having conversation, that's the easier to integrate. When you're both remaining silent, it's much easier to integrate. That's the 3 areas of integration. Non-virtue, neutral, and virtuous. Like when we're singing Ah Om Hum with your friends, right? Would you, middle of the Ah Om Hum, would you stop the Ah Om Hum and start to argue? No. Right? You'll be fine. You'll be sitting quiet, calm, and singing together, because with a mantra, it's easier to integrate the silence. With conversation, it's a little bit harder. With argument, it's difficult. So actually, you step by step, you train your mind, you train your speech for the integration. Think about next meeting that you have with your friend, close friend, somebody you love, right? Think about it. I'm sure we all have next meetings planned, right? And think about this friend. Usually you kind of find, and then you start to feel a little bit tension, then you begin to have some disagreement, and often end up kind of discussion or argument or something like that. Think about it. If you have a pattern like that, think about it. So next time, what you wanted to do after today's talk, you wanted to say, take a big piece of paper, say integration with a speech, 3-step integration with a speech exercise, what I have learned last time, what I'm going to practice this next meeting. So what do? The first one to integrate will be easiest one, the virtuous speech or the silence. You go there, is a silence there. Feel it. You're feeling, you're more aware of your silence, even you're going there, and even though you have a place of meeting, time of meeting, you're going there, but you stay more connected to your inner silence. Feel it, enjoy it, love it, feel fullness. But you're still walking, driving to go to that meeting place. And you meet the person, you sit together. Your attention is very much in that silence, in that awareness. Because tendency is usually you think, oh, I wanted to see that person, but I don't want to see that person. This person will again start to argue. This person will still annoy me. This person is annoying me all the time, or something like that. Inside, a lot of those kind of clear formation of thoughts, or even energetically how you're feeling as you're going closer to that, your body, your brain, that energy is there. But this time, you're staying calm, quiet, and silent. Then the moment you see that person, you said, hi, how are you? How was your holiday? Oh, holiday was fine. Now you can hear yourself talking, and you know what the word lines that you have used, you're talking, you hear that, and it's fine, just conversation. It's a neutral conversation, it's fine, and you're okay with that. And then some point, and you say something like, I don't know, weather was so nice. And then your friend says, yes, but we need a rain. Okay, well, already argument started. I did not say that we don't need a rain. We don't need a nice weather, Okay. So you can immediately feel now conversation from hi, how are you, to how is the weather? Whatever conversation is, argument started already. The pain has a trigger already, and you can feel it. You have less connection to the silence already. You're more triggered with your pain already. You're ready to attack the person already. Defend yourself already. Somebody got to be aware of that. You can, oh, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of that. I feel my pain. I feel my pain speech. I feel this, the kind of anger toward my friend. And this is the time to integrate with my inner silence. And just moment you're even aware of that, you already, your protection is already there. You feel a little bit more silence, and you feel a little bit more open. You feel a little bit more humorous. You said, you're absolutely right. We need more rain. Even though I like the nice weather, but we need more rain. I hope we will have more rain. That's it. End of the conversation. I'm sure your friend will keep on trying something else to argue with. But you have to know you have more chance to practice the neutral conversation in this integration with the silence. It's on you. And then some point, maybe all conversation go into this beautiful, caring, loving conversation with each other. This sense of more respect and love to each other. And the conversation was an expression of that openness, an expression of that love. Conversation does not matter so much. It was about weather, tea, whatever it is. You can feel that integration with that inner sacred space, the highest integration is there. Integration with that silence is the most pure integration is there. And whatever the speech is coming out is just They're expression of that space and love. And you can feel that fully there. So these are three integration with the speech. The last three integration is related with our mind. Think about worrying. Okay? Do you worry? Do you worry about worrying? Do you worry about why I have not worried so far? I might worry soon. Do you worry about that? Do you worry about, I don't know, what's going to happen tomorrow? Yeah, so worrying. One of the great scholars said, if you, where's the place for worrying? If you can do something about it, you don't worry about it because you can do something about it and do it. Take care of it. If you cannot do anything about it, then why you worry about it? Because you cannot do anything about it. But so worrying does not have a place in real situations in your life. It's so good to know that. Because worrying is taking away so much precious moments of life. Every moment that you have wasted by worrying in your life, just imagine how many hours we waste worrying about something, worrying about what we can do, and we never do that, but we worry about it. Worrying about what is something that we cannot do anything about it, but we still worry about it. And how many times we waste. Not only those time can be fully fulfilled with such much more joyful, meaningful, healthier way. And not only we waste that time, but that time has impacted our health. It takes away our sleep, good sleep. It takes away our good dreams. It takes away our smile in our face. It takes away the ability to joke, play. So it doesn't help. So think about like worrying, When you worry, that's a negative emotion in some sense. So you think about that when that emotion comes, you're trying to be aware of your inner sacred space. When the worry, all these worrying voices comes in your head, you're trying to remember the silence. Worrying decision comes, you're trying to remember the stillness. So you're trying to be aware of that inner sacred space when mind is worrying. If you're able to be aware of that inner sacred space while you are worrying, that's called integration. At some point, worry will self-disappear. You don't have to do anything. It will just, how many times the worry disappears? By itself. Because you find a better place to engage internally, like sacred awareness of sacred space. You feel the sacred space. Even sometimes, like they say, going out, just looking out, going out, walk out and look at the sky. For half an hour, 1 hour, just walk out and just look at the open skies. And they will help not to worry. But then neutral thoughts, like a planning, or like a, yeah, I don't know, any thoughts, like I want to make a cup of coffee, I want to think about the lunch, or have some meeting, or whatever your neutral thoughts are there. During those thoughts, you're trying to remember, am I aware of my authentic self? Am I aware of that genuine awareness? Maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware. So if you are, you know, if you're aware, then it's easier to integrate with more negative, destructive emotions. If you're able to integrate with, when you're feeling emotionally, feeling joyful, feeling worthiness, feeling good, then it's easier to integrate with your neutral thoughts, like a planning and everyday activities. If you're able to integrate with the everyday activity, decisions and thoughts with that inner awareness of inner sacred space, then you are able to easier to integrate with when your destructive emotions, like like worrying and anger and so on. So these are 9, basically, in short. Let's conclude this. 9 different stages of integration: 3 in the body, 3 in the speech, 3 in the mind, 3 in the body in the exactly right sequence. Non-virtue, I say the non-virtue is most difficult, neutral is intermediate, and virtue is easiest to integrate. So you do it what is easier to integrate, then try with the neutral one, then try with the non-virtue one with the body. Same way, same thing with the speech. Try like singing Aum Hum and feel the silence. Then trying to have a conversation and feel the silence. Then trying to argue with somebody just for the sake of argument, just argue with someone, or you invite little argument with awareness and argue, and then it's just trying to be aware of the silence. See how fun it is. Right? And then with the mind, you're trying to just feeling open and sending love to everybody, and feel that your genuine, authentic self presence is there, that awareness of space is there. Then when you're planning, when you're doing everyday routine things, then you see the awareness presence is there or not, more likely be there. Then when you have more destructive emotion, when you're feeling anger, attachment, and ignorance, see if the awareness of space is there or not. So in that particular sequence, so people would actually spend like days and weeks practices of this integration. That makes sense? So very general sense, it's the pandemic time. Every single day we are challenged. And we don't know how long it will go or not. And to see how to be cool and calm, how to connect, how to find, how to grow, how to love, how to be creative. In this particular moment, there will be integration. How to be kind, how to be loving, how to come closer, how to be more active, how to engage more, how to live more, how to help more. This will be like a special I mean, not losing yourself, integrating and not losing yourself will be general common sense of integration. Growing more into your virtuous quality will be special integration. Not losing your innate quality and awareness of your authentic self will be unique integration. So that's what it is. I hope it is making sense. So you can design a short retreat. I would encourage you to design a short retreat, and maybe people. I know, like unfortunately, some places like in Europe, I know in like Holland, Netherlands, it's locked down, and some places they're saying might be some kind of lockdown next few days. If these things happens, think about little retreat, personal retreat. But not to be. I mean, after we have been practicing almost 2 years to integrate with the coronavirus, by now we should be a little bit more expert. 2-year retreat to integrate with the coronavirus. I think live your life fully, enjoy your life, these precious moments, respect each other, help each other. And then, wonderful, I think partly, all these situations, so much anxiety and anxieties and loneliness are there. I think probably in large, it's affecting our society more than the virus. It's our own mind, lack of ability to integrate and relate with the circumstances, situation, is affecting more than actually the virus. We have to, trying to be respectful to each other, come closer with each other, come closer to yourself, to each other, help each other, respect each other's decision, whatever people do, different opinions. As much as you need respect to what you think, people feel the same thing. If you want to be respected, what you believe in, people feel the same thing. Well, I need the same respect, what I believe in. Respect each other. I think that's something that we should never lose each other, respecting each other's, helping each other. And this time is the most important time where we need to really come closer to each other, where people need to be united, not divided, where people need to come closer, not distant from each other, where people need to help each other. And sometimes people might think, I don't know what I can help. There's so much you can do. There's so much everybody can do to help the situation to come closer and a deeper healing and finding them. I think this is what our world and our society today, we need that. Okay, so thank you very much, and let's do the dedication. do, do. So thank you, everybody, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you. So enjoy your wonderful time with the family. Those who have a family, kids, school holiday, and those you don't have a kid, and then enjoy a lot of free time you have, right? Thank you.